Hello, I wanted to take a few moments and just kind of walk you through how Nearpod works and really the benefits of Nearpod. So the first thing is when you go to nearpod.com, there is a sign-in screen. If you don't have an account, you are more than welcome to create a free sign up at first to kind of get your feet wet. What I noticed personally about the free version is that it's plenty to get your feet wet, but the more Nearpod activities you create, the more memory you use. And the free version, you're only allotted so much memory, and so you run out pretty quick. So just FYI. So once you log in, you'll notice that you have several options. So my library is exactly what it sounds like. All the Nearpods that I've created. There's Explore where I can go through and I can look for Nearpods that other people have created or things that I could purchase through Nearpod. There's another option to kind of, I guess, up your level as far as commitment. But the two that you'll use the most is Create in my library. So let's say that I want to create a new Nearpod. So I simply click on Create and you'll see it's pretty straightforward. You have a couple options as far as creating a Nearpod. Nearpod's very similar to like a Google Slides or a PowerPoint in the fact that it's set up as actual slides. The nice thing about Nearpod is that it can be really interactive for the individual student on their iPad or on their device. And you can see, we have the option of creating slides here, which are pretty plain, or you can take a PowerPoint or a Google slide that you already have, and as you can see, you just drag and literally drop that file right here where it says, and it loads it all into a slide. And if you are looking for fancier slides, that would be the way to do it, to make it in PowerPoint or make it in Google Slides. Make it with fancy colors and fonts and all that, and then drop it in. I'm not going to go through that currently. I'm just going to kind of go through and show you how slides are created. So whenever you click on create a slide, you have a couple options. You'll spend most of your time in add content as well as add activity. So the first thing is, let's say you just want to create just a general slide. You can see it's pretty plain, and that's why I'm talking about if you're looking for more frills as far as content slides, PowerPoint or Google Slides would be the place to make it, and then you can share it into your Nearpod. Just as it looks, you just add the text, put in whatever you want to go in there. You have the option to put images. You can also record yourself. You have any information that you want to put in there. You really have access to do it. So let's say I'm going to make a Nearpod about American history. Let's save it. So like, let's say that slide I went through and I created all sorts of information on that slide. The next slide I want to maybe make a little bit interactive. Maybe I presented information that I want to see how the kids are doing, some sort of formative assessment. And that's really what makes Nearpod so cool. So I would click on Add Activity, and you can see I have several options as far as what kind of activity I want to do. I can choose open-ended question. So I could say like, maybe it's a review of the last slide. So I could put who is the first president. I could add a picture maybe if I wanted to, or whatever. And then once I add that slide, now it's a open-ended question. So whenever it comes up on my presentation, the students then would have the option of typing in their answer. There's other activities or other active slides or slides that allow participation. You can have poll questions. Would you have been a loyalist or would you have been a patriot? And on the kid's device, they can vote, and it'll show you on your screen. Other activity slides that you could do. You can set up a quiz, which is essentially like a multiple choice question. So you would have your strand here, and then you would have your answers. You can add answers if you would like. You can have as many choices as you would like, but then you want to make sure that you go through and you select what the correct answer is. Another option that you have that I use all the time personally would be Draw It. it literally creates just a whiteboard for the students to do. So a lot of times I use this with vocabulary. So like say we're doing a vocabulary lesson and the lesson is on, I don't know, sailing and, or sorry, exploration. And so I want the students to draw a picture for caravels. And so I go through and I have them create that slide. So whenever the student on their iPad, when we get to that slide, they have that whiteboard. They have all these tools as far as colors and what kind of pens they want to use. And then whenever they go through and they submit it, you know, I can go through and I can see those pictures that they're submitting. As you can see, it's pretty user friendly. It's not that challenging as far as creating a slide, or sorry, a slideshow. I'm going to go through for a second